What's going on, y'all? What it is. So before we go any further, I just want to ask you guys to go ahead and share this video. Go ahead and get this video out there in the universe, because I'm taking a major risk by putting this information out there. I thought about it, I prayed about it, and I decided to move forward. Now, before I put this information out there, I do want to be responsible with my integrity and also my channel. I want to say that the information that I'm about to convey to you is all alleged. So I have this first responder that has contacted me and said that they were on the scene when medical assistance was called to render aid for Kim Porter, right? And this particular individual is telling a different story, a different sequence of chain of events that took place on that day. Now, the information that I'm about to share with you all claims that Kim Porter still had a pulse. They claimed that Kim Porter was still breathing, even though her heartbeat rate was low. And things took a turn for the worse when this so-called doctor showed up. So guys, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this email. It says here, greetings. I'm a former first responder and I was directed to your channel from an account on Facebook. There are a few things I would like to reveal. As I was one of the first responders to arrive when medical assistance was called to render aid at Mr. Combs' residence, which later became clear that Miss Porter, along with her children, occupied the home in Toluca Lake. I want to be unyielding when I say this. The reason why Mr. Ed Werder, the coroner, wanted to test further when it came to Miss Porter's autopsy was based off of the sole certitude that Miss Porter was still breathing on her own and had a pulse. Although unconscious, it was irredeemable at the scene that she was still alive. When the pulse was discovered, we were quickly informed by Combs that Mrs. Porter's primary care physician was en route, so we began to initiate the proper steps to maintain her pulse and stabilize her condition as much as possible. When the doctor arrived, we were removed from the scene and escorted by security downstairs to the kitchen. When the doctor showed up, Combs appeared to be on edge, and then he said something peculiar to the doctor. He said they did all they could do, which was odd given the fact that a pulse was discovered. And although her heart rate was low, beating fewer than 65 beats per minute, she was still breathing. Combs appeared frantic the entire time and micromanaged everything. He asked us questions like, "What is that for? What are you giving her? I don't want to make this worse. If it's her time, I don't want her to suffer." He was also very argumentative and authoritative, which was oddly paramount, and became very unsettled and jittery when Miss Simmons arrived. Miss Simmons looked as if she was suspicious about something, but visibly distraught. The coroner arrives about an hour later, and Combs ordered everyone out of the home, and the doctor was the only one inside with Kim. And Combs met the coroner in the driveway and oddly enough started directing the coroner van how to park like he was a crossing guard, and had a conversation with them before they entered the home. Although it's not clear what was said, his body language and demeanor came across like he wanted to rush and get Miss Porter out of there in a modus operandi that I would identify as being cynical. Later on that night, I could not stop crying because I got this feeling of sorrow that when Miss Porter was picked up by the coroner, that she could have still been alive, but there was no way she could respond. I wonder if she could hear everything that was going on the entire time. I communicated to the doctor and my medical superiors that Miss Porter was still alive when we arrived on the scene. My boss contacted Ed confirming our findings, and Ed concluded that he found signs of traumatic asphyxia, which would have had to happen after we discovered that Miss Porter still had a pulse. I am inexorable that we had her stabilized, and that truth is undeniable. Something bizarre that antagonized me about this doctor is that when I researched him, I could not find a doctor in the state of California or beyond. I have looked up every doctor I possibly could in the US of A and still can't find his picture or anything tied to the credentials he had visible. Another doctor stepped in, I found out, and was working with Ed during the autopsy process because the doctor who arrived on the scene had a family emergency and was out of the country, which I thought was uncanny and intentional. It's an echo sentiment by Ed that he believed that Mr. Combs was with Kim the entire night before she fell ill. It's my unwavering belief that Miss Porter was either mishandled after the doctor entered the room, or she was zipped up still alive and passed away due to the lack of air. Alright, so I do want to let you guys know that I was able to verify that the person that sent me this email did work as a first responder in Kim Porter's district from the year of 2013 to the year of 2020. But I was not able to verify that this person was on the scene when Kim Porter had her medical emergency. Alright, so I'm gonna leave y'all guys with that. This is part 1 of 3 parts. I don't know when I'm going to come with the second and third, but just stay tuned, all right? So drop down in the comments and let me know what you think about this particular information. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and if you're new here, consider subbing to the channel. I'll get with you guys later. Peace.